2001, and it, to me, was seemingly coming out of nowhere. I was working on a production job, and I mean, there was no real pressure, and I was doing a budget, and all of a sudden, I the only way I can describe it physically is from like the bottom of my body all the way up. I just got flushed with just this intense, heat and feeling, and just heart palpitations, rushing heart, to the degree I thought I was going to pass out and have a heart attack. Or I thought I might be just going crazy. I really did. So I found some doc in the box. So he runs the EKG, asks me a bunch of questions about my family history, and then he comes back in, he goes, your EKG is normal. He goes, well, actually, because you're a great candidate, because you try to manage everything and you can't. I think in general my personality is outgoing, upbeat, happy-go-lucky. I have not always been a worrier, which is really why it was very two more that I can really vividly remember. They prescribed me Xanax on the spot when I had that initial one, and I took it a couple times. I hated it. I was really kind of an anti-med type person. I was always like, well, if you get to the heart of whatever it is, then you can deal with it, and don't mask it with meds and all that. I'd rather have a glass of wine, honestly. I was like, screw that, I'll have a glass of wine and just chill out that way. And really, that seemed to work for a while, What happened was they pretty chronic to the degree to where I was freaking falling apart. And I was trying every all-natural thing under the sun to sleep. I mean, I have tried it all. I used to just think of sleep as a haven. Like, that was my place. That was my place where I could just go, and I love to sleep. I mean, I love it. Since '06, and I started developing the insomnia. As I'm approaching bed, it's like, am I going to sleep tonight? And I'm already anxious, already. And borderline mad that I even have to think about that. I know if I get in bed after midnight, chances are my mind is already locked in a pattern of like, oh, you're screwed, you're not going to sleep tonight. And if I don't sleep that night, the next day, everybody can go to hell as far as I'm concerned. I mean, seriously, I feel that. I'm so angry. And the outlook on the world, my outlook on the world on a night that I don't sleep compared to the night that I sleep, night and day. I'm such a night person as opposed to really a morning person that my nights vary all the time. Right now, pattern is to just kind of get relaxed, either read a little bit, or maybe watch a little bit of television, which really means my computer, because I don't have a TV, and have a little bit of a glass of wine, and honestly, a Xanax. And that's just telling the truth, and I know I'm not supposed to drink and take Xanax, but I do. The idea of being on a daily med does not appeal to me at all. People have said, if you tried, might you try Paxil? An everyday med, and I'm still not doing that. It's like, I'm still like, I don't really want something that's going to shade my everyday person. As I get older, it's not letting me get away with this anymore. I'm not superhuman, and I can't do it all, and I can't manage a lot of this stuff. And boy, I think the hardest thing is, and I think that maybe that's why therapy and counseling is good, is because you need somebody on the outside of you help pointing those things out. Because being in your own being, you can't see it. It's really bizarre. And it's impacted a lot of my close relationships or potential to bond with others because they see me as so self-contained that I don't need them. But the truth is, I'm not telling them I need them. just had to, oh, because one of my closest sisters, I just wouldn't let her know because, again, it was one of those things I felt like I had to manage or handle on my own. So it took her a while to even realize that I had that.
I just have always found Christy so capable and have, and she's been such a great friend. And from a personal point of view, coming from a family that's got a lot of mental issues, it was very important to me that she didn't have any issues because we were, buddies, cohorts, what have you, and we were like the two that had to deal with the issues of the rest of the family. She kind of made, at first it wasn't a big deal until gradually, I picked up that maybe there was something going on. I think when Christy is handed stuff like this that bothers her, that she has a tendency to go off to her little cave for a little while and digest it.
I would do things to escape the pressure. Instead of letting people know I needed help, I would do odd things. And one of them was when things just felt like it was too much, I'd sell everything I owned, pack up a van, and go camping for 1 to 3 months and just abandon things.
Maybe a few of those times we're out of a little panic, of what to do next. And so if she couldn't figure it out, she would just pick up and take off away from it.
It worked for a while to get away. It worked for a while, but when you come back, everything's still there.
Times when she would go off on a trip and then come back and stay with me for a while. And then when reality hit, it's like, okay, well, you've been here and, what are your plans and things like that. She would get angry with me and I would get pretty hurt because, I would be asking for what I thought was pretty reasonable things. And I think it was more her fear of what, to have to step back into the world again. She would take that out and, I was, unenlightened, stupid. That I took very personally. And we would, not talk to each other for months,
And I don't think I really realized how it impacts others. That's the thing. It's like, it's a behavior that coming out of childhood, it's like what you've been told, whatever serves you in childhood may not serve you in adulthood. And it takes a while to figure that out and start getting very real about some of your choices,
I think that she...
I think over the last couple or more, because I think when I first got the diagnosis, I was like, no, that's not me. Well, yeah, it is. It is me. And coming to accept that has helped me, in waking hours, I feel like I'm getting much better about going with flow, especially during the day. A typical day is I get up whenever I get up, unless I'm on a shoot or unless I have a client meeting. And I'll make a cup of coffee and I will sit myself down in front of my big window and drink my coffee and watch birds and squirrels and look at nature. I mean, nature really soothes me. It's amazing. To relax and unwind, I definitely have to exercise. I have to exercise. I grew up being athletic and I also like yoga. I just took up hula hooping. I actually do kind of like a hula hoop combo yoga class, which is really fun. And oddly enough, hula hooping is one of those activities that gets you kind of in a strange zone. I think the more that I have a little bit of a routine going on, and that would be mostly just having a ritual that I enjoy that helps me stay stable.
So she'll do several different things, as far as taking her mind off of just having to do, or study that or be able to play chords and things like that, you have to put a lot of intensity into that. So I'm sure that takes her into a zone.
I like playing, just hearing the sounds that come out of it. I've written songs before, but really it's more about, for me, I enjoy hearing the tones that music makes. I think it's so surprising to me. It's taken me a long time to really accept it. This is me now. May not have had it before, but it is me now.